Welcome back to
Merry Christmas or
Bighumandead.
something. Whenever this airs.
Yes.
Happy Black Letter Day.
Yes. Happy Arbor Day.
Yeah. Hey, no, sorry. Seriously though. Welcome back to Big Human Dead.
Yes.
With me is my gracious and handsome co-host Rob Ayers.
Thank you.
And I am Neil McKay, a.k.a. Buddy Black, a.k.a. Rob will probably make up another name for me today.
Yeah.
I deserve it.
Jimmy Bottle Hider.
Professional lost at seer. I'll get lost at sea for your corporate event.
Call now for a special...
Yeah. Anyways. I don't know how to segue into this one, but this is a topic that you and I have gone back and forth on.
Yeah.
Both on podcast and off podcast.
It's definitely a love-hate relationship that I have with this genre, this subgenre.
Yeah. So this evening, Rob and I are going to be talking about. We can either call them sort of like over the shoulder shaky cam films. And or / found footage.
Right. Cinema verite, as some snobby shithead might label it.
Is that actually? I thought cinema verite was that you're making a film, but nobody in the film knows that you're making a film.
Yeah, I agree with that definition.
I think that's cinema.
Which I think
technically
applies
that's cinema
to
verite.
Almost like 0.05% of the movies in this category of the shaky found footage. But I'm willing to say that if we asked any of these directors that make this copious amounts of found footage films, they would all be more than willing to slap that label on their film. Okay. Such as it is. And
Sorry, no, go ahead.
Yeah, the love-hate relationship I have with this is it's a lot more hate than love. It's an incredible amount of loathing. One, because like the shaky cam just doesn't. I understand it. I understand the atmosphere that they're trying to bring about. It's realism and realistic and nonsense like that. But it's not. Doesn't work. It's like this is something that people figured out a long time ago, back when movie cameras first came around. Yeah. And there's so much loathing on my part because the good examples, the good movies in this subgenre are really good. And they're so few and far between that I have to suffer through so many bad movies just to get to those good ones. And I can't not do it. I can't refrain from it. I wish I could. I wish I could just say, fuck it. I'm done with that subgenre. I don't need that small neighborhood of the horror genre. But like the good examples are so good and I enjoyed them so much that I have to keep traipsing through their open sewer streets just to find these good ones. Yeah. And, the thing that you and I sort of have what we agree on anyways about or one of the things I should say we agree on about the found footage shaky cam films is that they always really break their own rules. Yes. Either really early on in the film or when you get to the end you and I have talked before where a lot of horror films just sort of don't know how to end their own movies. Yeah. And but typically with all the found footage stuff, they either just completely, like in the example of The Last Broadcast, they just what a terrible film. Sorry, while we're on the subject, but I would have forgiven it. I would have forgiven it if they had not broken their rule in the end. I would have forgiven it in the sense I would not have gone to the mountaintop and shouted out its praise, but I would have said, "Oh, the last broadcast, that was cool." It was.
You probably would have finished your last broadcast tattoo.
Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
would have finished it, and I would not have slapped the tattoo artist away at the last 10 minutes of the movie. Say, "Stop it, fool! Don't you realize how wrong we've all been here tonight?"
Yeah. This was a terrible mistake.
Yes.
I only see my error now.
Yeah. It was such a horrible idea. Why did I have you come in and tattoo this on me while watching the film?
Yeah, sorry. For those of you who haven't seen the last broadcast, firstly, don't.
It's the big inspiration for Blair Witch Project. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I think Cannibal Holocaust was the first one of note. I think
it's the first real found footage movie, right, in the horror genre.
Yeah, I'm hesitant to say first because I'm wrong fairly often, but I think it was definitely the earliest well-known one of these. But anyways, the last broadcast is about a sort of a community or like a cable access paranormal television show, and these guys go out looking for the Jersey Devil for whatever their season finale or something like that. And they take a schizophrenic psychic with them, who has like a mental breakdown in the woods.
I forgot about this. They're a psychic,
and
it's fucking ridiculous.
It could have been a really cool movie,
but
it's super long.
Yes.
And then
it's
the quote unquote twist ending. Spoiler alert, I guess.
Yeah.
But the quote unquote the movies, if you haven't seen it already, I don't think you're going to see it. But the ending, they just completely abandon the rule, and they just do. There's the camera turns into a third person.
Yeah, turns into a narrative.
Like an objective narrative, and it's a really, and especially that it happens for the first time.
Yeah.
Literally in the last 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
It's super brutal.
Yeah.
And then the other question that I have about all these found footage movies is, oftentimes these characters just die alone in a cave.
Yeah.
So who found?
That's my other.
Yeah. I can suspend my disbelief about these people just no, don't turn the camera off. I have to record. I have to document this for some fucking reason.
Yeah.
And I just chalk those people up to that just being horror movie idiots and all that shit. But yeah, no, it's hey, Quarantine is an awesome movie. Don't get me wrong. I think Quarantine does the.
That's a fun one with some good startles in it. Some well-deserved startles, not just jump scares, but a meaty startles.
Yeah, and if you on the DVD, anyways, they have a really really cool The Making of Quarantine, and I guess it was only 1 or 2 floors of an apartment building.
Okay.
It was like a set. And so, and there's a bunch of scenes where they're just running up the apartment again, and they're just running up the building. So they do it, and then they would reset and redress it. They did a really good job with that film. But anyways, the last scene is our protagonist being, getting got by a ghoul. Right. Up in the attic or something like that.
Yeah.
And that's where everyone that's where they die. And I can't imagine a government, hazmat spook.
Right.
Finding this a television camera and being hey, you know what? I just got, Adobe.
Right. I'm a hobby filmmaker. I'm going to go home and cut this together.
Yeah, I'm just going to do it. Yeah.
See what I can do with it. It'll be kind of cool. Little project on the weekend.
The interesting thing, though, and I was talking to my buddy about this, but the interesting thing, and you had mentioned something really interesting. I think it was either our last episode or the episode before, where you had a theory that all slasher movies take place in the same universe.
Yeah.
We talked about that.
All linked together with Halloween, with a scene from Halloween 4.
So. Yeah, sorry.
The crossroads of every horror, of every slasher movie ever made.
The nexus, of all cinema.
Yes.
My buddy and I were talking about the found footage stuff, and he was saying maybe all found footage movies take place in the same universe because, because I edit a movie together, and then I show it to Columbia, or Universal.
Yeah.
Why? If it were actually true, why would they release it?
Yes.
It's like, hey, I found this. Essentially this snuff film that proves the existence of werewolves.
Right. Exactly.
Do you want to will you give me $10 million for it? And it's like, I don't see why not. We don't have any other ideas kicking around here.
Right. Did everyone sign
my boss would kill me if there was a brand new movie here and I didn't take advantage of it.
Did everyone sign a release form? Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, sure.
Absolutely.
Duh.
So.
Yeah, I think that's one of the inherent the inherent flaw in found footage movies is that exactly that the rules are broken just on the very foundation of a found footage movie, unless it's stated, up front, which some of them do. The best ones do. The best found footage movies do account for this in some way, but for the most part, they don't. It's just it opens. We have our the title screen, and then based on real footage is blah 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 blah. And then we watch these assholes and idiots roam around, get into dangerous situations, go crazy places, get fucked up by insane monsters or myths or mythologies or ghouls and goblins, and then they all die. Or for the most part, it's a pretty dismal scene. I mean, there's really no final girl or final survivor in most of these, and so which means, like you said, someone has to find this footage of found footage, and
well said.
Thank you. And so I'm almost more interested automatically in the person who is actually, whether consciously or unconsciously retracing the steps of these people through, catacombs or, mysterious woods or whatever kind of hellish landscape they have to trek through to stumble upon this camera and bag of cassette tapes. And that's pretty awesome. And then they survive, obviously, because they cart all of this gear out, and then they cut it together and present it. And so it's just ridiculous. It's the very face of it is ridiculous.
Well, absolutely. And sorry, it's funny that you mentioned the justification.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like the prologue, where it's like, we found this. The following footage was found by so and so and so and so and sold to whatever, and then a film was cut down. This is the film, whatever.
That's all it takes.
That's it. I started. When I first heard about this movie, I was actually really excited for it.
Mm-hmm.
And the more trailers I saw and the more I read about it, I was like, I don't want to do this.
Mm-hmm.
But last night, in preparation for our episode, I started watching Apollo 18.
Okay, that's on my list.
The very, very first thing that happens was in 1999 or something like that, when the Freedom of Information Act was whatever.
Yeah.
This something like 84 hours of footage was uploaded to a website called lunartruth.com.
Mm-hmm.
This is this film has been edited from that footage, which I thought was like, you know what, that I can believe that.
Yeah.
Like I can believe that one of these nutty conspiracy theory websites did this.
That's
like,
a good
I'm okay
stepping
with
stone.
that. Yeah, but the film is boring as fuck.
Yeah,
like it's like
it takes so long to get to anything worth.
I remember thinking like mumbling in space is my favorite like unproduced Tom Waits record. But it doesn't make for a very good premise for a horror film. Right. I swear to God, I had to watch it with subtitles on. Yeah, because like it's just all of these hammy actors just mumbling in space about. I think I'm like an hour into it, and it's only an hour and a half, and I'm not even entirely sure what the fuck's going on.
I
like,
gotta go back to the hole. What?
There's
go back to the hole. Huh?
A guy was attacked by a rock? Like, is that what's happening?
There's a rock down there. I gotta get it. Huh?
No good.
It's like a bunch of present day Harrison Fords, all just stuck on the moon. I'm mumbling and kind of shuffling around. Oh man.
Anyways, so yeah, let's stop being negative Nancy's. Like, which ones really work for you? Like, which one of these found footage or just even shaky cam, over the shoulder movies really work for you, and why?
On the opposite side, but in the same class as Apollo 18, which I believe in that one they break the rule as well, right? Do they jump to a narrative? I don't remember. I think they do in the end.
I haven't got to the end. You know what?
Maybe I just dreamed they did.
I don't even know if I'm going to get to the end.
Okay.
Like I got enough stuff to do. Like if I don't see the end of a bunch of, you know, like I don't know, astronauts just mumbling about shit, like I'll live. Like it'll be okay. So I don't know if I'm going to get that far.
On the other side of the seesaw from Apollo 18, there's a movie called the Europa Report. And this one is pretty cool. It's really similar. It's not a period piece. It's more like this is happening now, and it's some astronauts. They're in a space shuttle. They're going to a space station, I believe, but it's all kind of like, you know, similar, that it's all cut together from footage from all the cameras inside the space shuttle, inside the cabin, inside attached to their space suits, and it's all been compiled together and cut down as, you know, whatever. I don't remember the opening explanation or justification for it at the moment, but I remember thinking that I can buy into this. This makes sense as well. And
where's it from?
I want to say it might be it's in English, but it's it's an international production.
Yeah, it sounds like, it doesn't sound like anything North America would do.
No, I could be wrong about this, but I want to say maybe it's a French director or production. And
I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
Like I absolutely have to check. I love like space horror.
Me too, because
you know what I mean.
Like it's
I
usually
dig it.
not good, but when it is good, it's incredible. Like this is super cool. And the Europa Report it's pretty tight from what I remember, and it has homeboy from District 9. He was also in Powers, the TV series.
Yeah.
He's in it. He's one of the main actors, and it also has I can't remember her name. I'm just going to call her Barry Salmon's sister.
Okay.
She was in Minority Report, and she's been in a million movies. Like, you'll recognize her as soon as you see her.
Yeah.
And it's good, and it's stressful. It's cool, and this one was really fun, and it's cut well. It's shot well. It never. I don't know. My disbelief was never released from suspension.
Yeah,
you could say. So that's one.
Yeah, no, I was going to say, one that I saw just even the last couple of years that I was really impressed by was The Last Exorcism.
Mm-hmm. That's a fun one. I dig that one.
Yeah, And I really like. I mean, my one of my problems, anyways, like, other than the ones that we already discussed, but like one of my problems is, I don't know, consummate camera people who just will never put it down for any reason, but it's like they don't know how to use their camera.
Yeah.
Like, and in The Last Exorcism, like the cameraman turns his light on every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like he uses his microphone, his shotgun mic on the microphone.
Yeah,
sorry, on the
cool.
camera to like spy on other people in the house.
Yeah, right.
So, like the cameraman is a character with a camera,
right?
That knows how to use it, and I thought it was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was really, really cool. I liked the. I'm sort of easily impressed by sort of even moderately well executed like exorcism films.
Fair enough.
So yeah, I was really super into The Last Exorcism, and I just loved all the characters too, and like
the actors they got for those, they really felt it was totally believable. I was in.
Yeah. Yeah. That was a really but then they came out with The Last Exorcism 2, and like that's when like I can do that thing that you can't do, where I'm just like, nope, like I'm not gonna. I can do something else. Like there's I can literally do anything.
Yeah.
Nope.
As soon as I don't know what it is. I don't know how I am such a sucker for sequels. It's really like a junkie's habit. I don't know why.
It's so bad. Yeah, but anyways. So what's another one?
Another one for me that was good was Creep. Do you know this one? Fuck, I love this movie.
I started to watch that a couple of days ago.
Yeah?
I started to watch it, but I think it was at like 1:00 in the morning.
Okay.
And I was like only hanging by a thread.
Fair enough. It's a quiet movie. Like you need to be a little fresh for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not quite in a boring way by any means, but it's understated. And I think this movie is so clever. It's so good. It all works, and I love it. It's got an answer for everything. Everything is justified. It all fits together. It's well shot, even though it's of this shaky cam found footage thing.
Yeah.
It's not like it's. I don't know, the dude who did it. It's really shitty that I spaced on his name. I think it's Barry Salmon's cousin.
Yeah, sure.
He did such a good job, and it's so tight with the storytelling, and the premise is that the camera person, he has a business that he just goes around and puts an ad up on Craigslist or whatever kind of social job offering site as a filmmaker. Like, I'll come, pay me $1,000. I'll come and I'll document whatever you want me for. I'm a cameraman for hire. So automatically we have the setup of why there's a camera. We have justification of why it's not all super shaky, because he's, a quasi-professional. So we know he knows how to use a camera. And so he doesn't rely on this frenetic, nausea-inducing style. And then he goes and he's hired by this guy who says that he's dying of cancer and he wants to make a last video for whomever in the future. And it just all unravels from there, and it turns into this super stressful mess that this poor dude with a camera, just looking to make a few extra bucks, he gets wrapped up in it, and it's seemingly unending for this guy, and it's really good. This, I think, is maybe one of the best over the shoulder or found footage movies I've ever seen. Yeah, it doesn't try to overstep itself. It uses the subgenre in a really good way. It doesn't try to bring in any kind of madness. It doesn't ask the audience to believe that this footage is found and cut together, and there's aliens and ghosts and werewolves.
Yeah,
it's just simple.
I really do want to check it out. It's you and I have discussed before how much I don't really love mumblecore, and it just sort of seemed like mumblecore, the horror movie.
A little bit, yeah,
a little bit
from the main character, the cameraman himself,
yeah,
is kind of that. He does ring of that flavor.
Yeah,
but
like I just like a script. You know what I mean? Like you can improvise around the script,
right?
But I need a script, and I can tell if there isn't a script, and like that's. But yeah, I'm gonna check it over the next couple of days, anyways, because it was something I was really excited to see. Two, actually, that really did it for me, just because I frickin' love anthology movies, was VHS 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's on my list on the good side.
Yeah, I thought that those were really a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it's the pieces were so short that if it just didn't work, it was going to be over in a couple of minutes anyways, and then you could just move on and to do something else. And I can't remember what the through line was in number 1. I think they just no. They
it was just that they wanted to break in and get that tape.
Yeah. And then in number 2, there's more of a.
Was there? I felt like it was just like some more people broke in to get the tape as well.
There were like
tape fetishists.
criminals or something like that they had kidnapped somebody.
Really?
I believe.
Oh, okay.
It's been a little bit since I've seen VHS 2.
Yeah,
but
I spaced on the through line.
Yeah, but both of them I thought were a hell of a lot of fun.
Really fun. I think it's pretty clever to mix the found footage and anthology genres together. That was pretty smart.
Because I mean, it's almost they're just sketches.
Yeah.
Basically.
Why would you take it seriously? Why would you take this whole premise seriously?
Yeah, and it was I don't know, like it was and I guess even to an extent, anyways, even like the feature, like all of the found footage stuff, like it's just so gimmicky, anyways.
Exactly.
Like it's just a I don't know, a really long, not all that funny joke.
Yeah.
So. The way that VHS does it, where they just sort of cut it up into like kind of like bite-sized, like different flavors of whatever it is.
Yeah,
it really worked for me. Like I thought it was really good.
Me too.
Yeah,
agreed. For me, another one. I think we can both agree that like maybe the end all be all of found footage is Man Bites Dog.
I mean I adore that movie. Would you call that a horror movie?
Yeah, in a way, yeah. I think so.
Well,
it's a killer. And there's pretty horrifying aspects in it, even though it's I mean, like we've talked about, like you're laughing along with everything until a certain point, and then I was just horrified.
Yeah, it's so absurd at the beginning. You just sort of assume it's a comedy, and then, like, and I don't want to spoil anything for anyone that hasn't seen it, because this is one that you absolutely have to see.
Yeah.
Everyone that I've shown this movie to has just been completely blown away. One guy, I was in a band with him for a bit. I like, dude, you haven't seen Man Bites Dog? You're like, come over in a couple of days and we'll watch it together.
Yeah.
It blew his mind. Like anyways. So the premise is that this sociopath has hired a camera crew to follow him around. Or no, the camera crew is following him around. I don't think. No. Yeah. Actually, it's never clear as to why, if he's hired them or if they're. Yeah.
It seems more like the first Vice documentary.
Yeah. But anyways, so yeah, they just follow him around, and he's just sort of explaining kind of what his job is about.
Yeah.
And it's ridiculous. Like the sociopath is so charming, and he's actually kind of funny, and like
it's kind of pathetic as well. He's like sympathetically pathetic.
Yeah.
In some ways.
And there's a running gag in the movie where just like the cameraman keeps dying. No, the sound guy.
Yeah,
the sound guy just keeps getting shot.
Yeah.
And then replaced, and then I think by the end of the film, the director has dedicated the completed film to the memory of 3 completely separate sound guys.
Right.
But yeah, anyways, there's a point during the movie where you realize that this isn't a comedy.
Right.
And it never was a comedy.
Nah.
This guy is just actually over the top evil.
Yeah.
And it's the movie is just incredible.
Mm-hmm.
It's absolutely incredible.
I agree.
Yeah. I think some honorable mentions have to go to Chronicle.
I was thinking about that one.
That's not a horror film,
yeah,
but
it fits on the good list. I like it.
Yeah, I don't know. They kind of it's just I think it's just about the only found footage superhero movie.
I think so too. And I think it's a good, like, I really like that story. I think it unfolds really naturally, in my opinion. Yeah. I think it's really smooth.
And they actually do a really good job at kind of like what you said. It unfolds. The characters grow.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're like all of the characters have a pretty clean, believable progression.
Yeah.
And by the time the epic battle at the end takes place,
mm-hmm.
like I'm not questioning why
this
is happening. Yeah, I'm all right.
Like another,
and the really cool thing about the epic battle at the end is that the character we've been following,
mm-hmm.
who's been sort of like keeping his video camera like 2 feet away from his face using telekinesis the entire time, isn't doing that. And so the epic battle is all cut together using...
That was a cool touch.
Camera phones from onlookers.
Yeah.
And like CCTV cameras from like buildings that they smash through and all
mm-hmm.
that shit. Like helicopter footage. Like,
yeah.
It was really well done.
It really kind of like broke it open and made it even more stressful and exciting when it started breaking away from his own personal camera. And it did it in, like you said, like in a natural way. It made sense.
Yeah.
I was totally in.
However,
mm-hmm.
the last shot is of our hero standing on a mountain in Tibet.
Oh, right.
Totally isolated.
Yeah.
Speaking to the camera, and then he just flies away and leaves the camera there. So what?
Do you think that's still hovering there?
Did a Sherpa like stumble across this camera and then like a garbage bag full of Super 8 tapes and just be like, yeah, well, I'm sort of an amateur filmmaker, I guess. Like I'll cut this together. I mean, I didn't speak English, or
that's funny. That's one of the rare cases when the movie was so entertaining that it made me actually forget that, like, the last step. Usually the last step in these found footage movies is so grievous that it ruins everything that came before. But this one was reverse. Another really good one that I want to mention before we move on is Grave Encounters.
You were telling me about this one during our Ghost episode, and I really, really want to check it out. I haven't had a chance to yet.
This one is tight as well. Like this one, premise, everything's justified, and it's good. Like there's good scares in it.
Yeah,
it's really
I'll have to check it out, especially since you and I sort of discovered, I guess, that there's kind of really no such thing as a really good ghost movie.
Yeah,
it's
true.
I'm really excited to check this one out for sure.
Yeah, I myself was flabbergasted because of that, because it's a ghost movie, really. Like these people they do a TV series, like one of these ghost hunter series, and they go to I think it's an asylum or a hospital, and it's reportedly one of the most haunted places on Earth. And this is really the foundation for a number of found footage horror movies that just kind of fell under the radar. But this one, they did it really well. Like, they did it right on this one. And it's creepy, and it's scary and stressful, and I really got a kick out of this one. I got a kick out of it, Ked. You should really lay your peepers on it if you get a chance.
Yeah, well, I say no more. I'm convinced. Mm-hmm. Especially with the peepers comment. Anytime anyone speaks to me, like, like I'm in a speakeasy, like that's it. I'll do anything. I'll do anything.
What higher praise can you give it, other than stepping back into speakeasy speak?
Anyway, so I have a little game prepared for you. I guess this is just sort of true or false with Buddy Black again.
All right,
but don't play the song. I don't think we need this song.
Okay.
True or false with Buddy Black? Lots of moving facts. True or false with Buddy Black? That is the show. Lots of prizes to be won. Play at home, it's so much fun. True or false with Buddy Black? You're going to lose your show.
I played it.
I know. Thank you for playing the song. So, anyways, we're not playing for your soul this time. Oh. That's the only thing. Oh, you know what? Let's play for your soul.
Shit.
Let's play for your soul again.
Just when I got reacquainted and comfortable with having it back. It took a while to acclimate myself to having it, but
you got a clutter replace anyways. Like
true.
So anyway, so this one is I did a probably like a lot of people, I just really enjoy going on the internet and just reading and learning stuff about things that I enjoy.
It's fundamental.
So I mean it's and for those of you that don't do that, that's kind of what the internet's for,
right?
Like that's what you do with it.
Free up some time, read a little bit.
Yeah. Anyways, I am hilarious today. So I just got I just have like a little a cute little sort of a questionnaire, sort of a true or false sort of questionnaire thing. So these are all statements, sort of like urban legendy, kind of like paranormally, whatever you want to call it, things. You just tell me whether it's true or false.
All right.
So number one. Last year, over 2,500 exorcisms were performed in the United States alone.
2,500?
Yeah.
That's absolutely true.
Sort of. No, and this isn't another trick question thing, because I spent probably about an hour trying to look for the answer to this question, and just because it's kind of almost like a confession-y sort of a thing. Like, you can't really report like any statistics about that. However, a number of articles that I read reassured everyone reading that like the exorcism business is thriving.
That's crazy.
Worldwide. Like, don't worry about these guys.
Wow. All right. Good, because I was looking for a place to donate online somewhere in case they needed some assistance, but they obviously have their shit together and they're covered.
I was actually looking up too, like what qualifications you actually needed to be an exorcist.
You're looking for a third job?
Maybe.
All right.
That's all right.
You're a working class hero during the day. You're a father at night, and in your off time, you're out saving souls.
Saving souls.
Yeah.
That's who's Bottle Finder?
Jimmy Bottle Hider.
Jimmy Bottle Finder. Yeah, maybe that's what that guy does.
Yes.
But yeah, no, you have to be a like a Catholic priest.
Oh, whoops.
You have to get your bishop's permission.
Okay.
To take a 2-month course
Just 2 months.
That just more or less covers like battling demons.
2 months? That's shorter than a correspondence course. That's like...
I feel like you have a lot of like carryover credits from being a Catholic priest.
I guess you learn,
first place.
Maybe you learn the base,
mean?
the brass tacks of it you get in seminary school probably.
Yeah, like they don't have to reteach you Latin.
Right.
Like, you should still be able to figure that one out.
Yeah, you can really just, if you want to do exorcisms as well. Does the Catholic Church have their own? I don't know. Maybe they like worked out a deal with Cornell where you can get a correspondence course. You just order a couple of the books. You turn in your worksheets, or maybe with DeVry or something like that.
Yeah, just night classes.
Yeah,
right? Like just
night classes at the technical school.
Yeah. Just at the community college for sure. Okay, number 2. At one time, the Philadelphia Zoo offered a $10,000 reward for the capture of the Jersey Devil.
That's true.
It is true.
What?
In 1909, there was like, I don't know, I guess like most of the Jersey, like the biggest, I guess, Jersey Devil sighting took place in 1909, and shit kind of got really real in Jersey for like, I don't know, I guess a week or whatever.
Yeah.
And like people were, it's like, we're going to kill it, we're going to do whatever. And then, the Philadelphia Zoo was like, no, capture it, bring it to us.
Yeah, we have like $10,000 laying around here.
Yeah, and in 1909, that's like a ton of cash.
Yeah.
Like that's a retarded amount of money for 1909.
Yeah.
Like
you could buy another zoo with
that's literally 100 Model Ts. Like you could buy, well, not 100. Is that 100? That's 1,000. That's 1,000
Model Ts.
What are you gonna do with all? What are you gonna do with all those cars?
Do you have a cage big enough to put 1,000 Model Ts in your zoo?
What's the plan? Like, what's the like? Hang on.
You can't just have a.
What's the plan with all of these Model Ts?
Exactly. That's what I'm wondering.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
It's horrifying. Anyway. What if you're in the zoo and you're just, there's the gorillas. Oh, honey, look at that. It's a giraffe. Look at that stupid looking thing. And then you get to the Model T sanctuary, and it's just 1,000 Model Ts crammed on top of each other in this giant cage. That would be horrible.
That's messed up.
Yeah.
I don't like that. Yeah.
I would feel uneasy if I saw that many cars on top of each other, just shoved in there like a big ant farm with no dirt.
I'm really, like, I feel a lot safer with the Jersey Devils still out there, rather than an entire, an entire new sort of pavilion they would have to build to put all these goddamn Model Ts. Like, I don't know.
What a bad plan. They were pretty dumb back then.
Just ridiculous. Okay. Next. Ouija boards. I just had my son about 3 weeks ago. I'm so goddamn tired. I apologize. I am so fucking tired. He's beautiful. He's wonderful. Everyone's healthy. But I'm so freaking tired. Ouija boards are illegal in the United Kingdom.
I will say false.
False is correct.
Yeah.
But it's weird because there's just
to say that they're illegal. To say that they're legal implies that at one time they were not. That
at one time they were not legal.
Exactly.
Which is why the rumor is still sort of like circulating. So I guess back when, I don't know, a lot of people sort of gave a shit about things. Or I guess, probably just even before England became like one of the most secular places on the planet. They had a lot of laws prohibiting the practice of witchcraft and all this stuff. And Ouija boards fell into that category.
Right.
And I guess there are still like tons of people that believe that Ouija boards are illegal in the UK, but
do you think there's like a Ouija board black market for rubes and fools?
Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, like knockoff Ouija boards.
Yeah,
like just hey, you want to buy a watch? No, I'm okay. Do you want to talk to your dead grandpa?
What? No, how do I do that? What do
Yeah.
do you have something
Yeah,
for
I
that?
did.
No. Bobby, constable.
Yeah. Okay. In 2012, North Korea reported that they had recently reconfirmed the existence of a unicorn lair.
That's true.
That is true.
Yes.
And it's one of the most fucked up things I have ever read in my life.
I love North Korea. I love that regime. It's so crazy. They're so fucking nuts.
So the location of the unicorn lair is a mere 200 meters from a temple in the capital of North Korea. And the lair, there's a rectangular rock with the word unicorn lair carved into it.
What more do you need?
And then behind it is the unicorn lair.
Yeah.
So
call Michael Moore. Get him over there. We need some documentation on this. The world needs to know. Finally, we found the unicorn lair.
Like all of the druids and all of those guys, like they did a really kind of shit job.
Yeah.
Just trying to future-proof, I guess, or just letting us all know, hey, what was Stonehenge about? Like, could you just write it into the side of the rocks?
Yeah.
Like what you guys, like how you guys got them here, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
full disclosure, that was kind of their thing.
Yeah, but I really like this. I really like this North Korean dude.
Yeah.
Like I said, at that time it was probably just Korean dude that like, hey, I found a unicorn lair.
Yeah.
I'll better write unicorn lair on the door.
Right. And who knows if it wasn't just Kim Jong-un or then he chipped it in there, but then he just took some old coffee grounds and like rubbed it on there to make it look old. Hey, look what I found, everyone. Hey. Yeah.
Just like wrote it on just like a piece of computer paper.
Yes.
And then like draped tea bags over it.
Yes.
And put it in the oven.
Exactly.
With his under parental supervision, just like put it in the oven for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then snuck out of the palace at night.
Yeah. You never believe what I found, guys.
It's just like his scotch tape and just like taped it.
Scotch tape. Yeah. I was up all day. Like I was so busy all day curing cancer and AIDS and syphilis and all these things. Yeah. I had to take a walk. And when I took this walk, I found the unicorn lair. Pretty good day for me. That's what happens over there for these guys.
I guess the really interesting part of this story is that even though, Kim Jong-il just willy-nilly taped unicorn lair onto this rock, the fact that it was actually a unicorn lair is incredible.
Yes. It's such a coincidence.
Like really, what are the odds there? Like that's pretty nuts.
What a coinkydink.
So, over 3 million Americans have reported symptoms of alien abduction.
3 million. That's my homeland. I'm going to have to say true.
True is correct.
Yes.
Now,
I know my
according to a lot of websites that I've read, there are something like 72 symptoms that one can show, I guess, following an alien abduction.
Yeah, all listed and detailed in clarity in the psychological journals of the AMA.
Yeah, just and like there are some normal ones where it's like, oh, I don't remember what happened last night, or I don't know, I got like my head feels like it. My brains have all been scrambled or something.
Right.
But the weirdest one I found was stolen semen.
Oh, stolen
like
from their collection or from their body or
like from you.
Okay.
So if you wake up in the morning and you're like,
I feel a tiny void in my area.
Yeah, I feel like somebody just stole a bunch of my spunk.
Yeah.
Like, it's possible you've been abducted by aliens.
I feel an ounce lighter than I should.
Yeah, I know. Like, it's it's really weird.
Yeah. Like, I there's 3 million, and that's just in America. There's so many people that claim these alien abductions and alien sightings and alien this and that, and I just don't believe any of it. I fundamentally cannot believe in it. But there's so many people that do, and I've just never talked to or met anyone who has any experiences. But I would really like to talk to them or hear their story firsthand, because I don't want to just dismiss it out of hand, but I do. I have no experience with this. It makes no sense to me. But these people that have these experiences, there's so many, and they believe so firmly in it, so wholeheartedly, that I don't want to talk to them so I can judge them or run back to the show next week and be like, guess what I heard, this fucking idiots. But I would really like to know what's the deal here.
At the risk of alienating possibly our only listener, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like anybody who would be capable of dropping some serious knowledge on you on that subject is not a person you'd be able to speak to for probably longer than 5 minutes.
I'm sure the reputable sources in that community might be
a little eccentric.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
But I'm with you, and I feel like I just think it's really fascinating, like especially in the United States and like around the Bible Belt and all that stuff, like just how crazy religious, like violently religious, everybody is. Yet, like something stupid, like 80% of all Americans, and we're talking like super religious people, and then just like full blown atheists. Like 80% of Americans believe in paranormal something or other. Like whether it's Ouija boards or whether it's ghosts.
80%. That's
80%.
Madness.
Yeah, and like it might not be like, not everyone's like carrying their, like, that puts garlic up on their windows, but like, like it's probably mild to extreme anyways. But it's 80% is a shit ton of people.
Okay. I was thinking that was a little light, actually.
Oh, really? I said, you are from Florida.
Yes, it's true. It's also true. So sorry for those 3 million listeners we just lost. Please stick with us. We promise not to pick on you too much in the future.
Yeah. Okay, we just got a couple more here. So in the 1500s, England carried out werewolf hunts, trials, and executions, similar to that of the Salem witch hunts.
I'm going to say false.
False is correct.
Yes.
Because it was France.
Oh, France, you fucking weirdos.
Yeah. And like reading about, like, it's just sort of like the short list, I guess, of some crimes that they sort of blamed on werewolves.
Yeah.
Like these were some
awesome.
These were some brutal ass crimes.
Yeah.
Like
it would have to be if you really actually think, okay, witches over in England, that's one thing, but like, check this out, Bob.
Like one dude like just viciously murdered and ate something like 12 children.
Bull.
Wow. Like super brutal crimes. And
wow, man, France, what are you doing?
Around that time, syphilis was a really big problem in France.
There we go.
And
bunch of sluts.
In the later stages of syphilis, you can actually become full-blown psychotic.
Yeah.
And it actually might have had something to do with that, which is sort of, so I guess sort of on both ends, like the people committing the crimes and then also the people punishing them for those crimes.
Right.
Somewhere in between, everyone sort of agreed that it's not just a possibility, but it's actually quite likely that a werewolf was involved.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I mean, Occam's razor and all.
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. France, man. Do you know many French people? I mean, you being in Canada, I'm sure you encounter French Canadian people left and right. You're just lousy with them over there.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of them. They all kind of live in the same. They all kind of live in the one province. But yeah, they're all right. They're all right. Actually, one of my best friends is French Canadian, and his fiance is like straight up from France.
Okay.
And they're nice. Like I've been to Paris a couple of times too, and I love Paris.
Yes.
I understand why Parisians have a reputation for being rude. Like I feel it's justifiable.
Yeah.
Like if you go over there and it's like I just I don't speak French, but like for some reason I feel like everyone over here should be able to speak English and just
right.
do whatever I ask them to do. Like I understand why they can be upset over that. But
yeah, for myself, like I've met a number of French people living here in Austria. It's
right.
They wander outside the playground, their own playground once in a while, and I see them, and they're all weird, especially French men. I don't want to now exclude, our French listeners.
We already alienated the
3 million.
I guess no pun intended. Yeah, I guess.
Oh yeah, zing. But there's one guy. Hello, Pierre. Pierre, you know who you are. You're awesome. You're super cool.
Yeah, there's one French gentleman in particular, Pierre.
He's awesome.
Oh, Pierre! I know Pierre. Yeah,
yeah. I'm sure you were in Paris a couple times. Maybe you met him.
Yeah,
he's super cool. He's living in Romania right now, teaching French, and he's really fun and super smart and really clever. I can talk with him for a long time about anything. For the most part, a lot of the French people, a lot of the French men that I've met are weird. Like I somehow cannot relate to them on
eccentric.
Yeah. On some basic level, there's just not a connection. And maybe I'm the weird one.
Yeah.
But I feel like they're the weird one.
The thing that I really hate about French people is the way that they take off their hands and then they have all these hand attachments
the
that they use instead of their real hands.
It's the worst.
It's like you're having an open house and some French people come in and they're like, hey, would you like a cup of coffee? And they're like, yes, of course we would like a cup of coffee. And then you go to get the cup and then you turn around and they've removed their hands.
Right.
And they've put on, their mug attachment onto their wrist.
Little mug pincher or whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever they call it in French, I don't know.
They just expect you to do that, and it's like.
It's so awkward and it's just so.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
And they don't even ask if you mind.
Maybe that's
if they do that.
For me, it's not so much the attachments; it's that they just don't even ask. They just have this expectation.
Because we can't do that.
No.
You know what I mean?
Why would we?
It's like, hey, I'm gonna go. Hey, do you want to go catch butterflies? Yeah, absolutely, I want to go catch butterflies.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a great day. Let me just go home and get my net.
Right.
And so he goes home and he gets his net, and he's 20 minutes late. Mm-hmm. He doesn't arrive in the meadow for an extra 20 minutes, and he gets there and he's just got 2 nets attached to his wrists.
Yeah,
no hands.
Really, it's everything you don't want in a sunny afternoon on a meadow.
Yeah.
It's just French. Thanks, France.
Yeah, seriously. I don't. Yeah.
Thanks for making everything weird.
Yeah, you can take your weird hand attachments elsewhere.
Yes,
I'll tell you that. And last one, just real quick.
All right.
On November 10th, 2012, the United States Fish and Wildlife Services added Bigfoot to its list of endangered species.
If it's true, it's got to be a joke. If it's false, I'll feel a lot better about the land I came from.
It is true.
Awesome.
It's really sad that it's true, but it's true.
Come on. Or is it a joke? Was it like for Bigfoot Day or something?
Nope. Nope, not at all. And actually, the guy that lobbied this to Congress was a Canadian.
All right.
And
it's an international venture.
Yeah. So I think his argument was just like, we have pictures of Sasquatch, and we have all of this stuff. No one's found one.
But just in case, hey, just in case, eh? What can it hurt? Better safe than sorry, yeah.
But yeah, and the States was just like, whatever, fuck it, it's fine. Like it's this is literally never gonna come up. But yeah, no. So yeah, Sasquatch is an endangered species in the United States.
All right, well,
yeah,
good for Bigfoot.
Yeah, there you go.
That's ridiculous.
Totally insane.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I did pretty good on that one.
Yeah, you did pretty good actually. You got most of them.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
If by most you mean all.
You didn't get the Bigfoot one.
That's because he doesn't exist. How could I ever be expected to get that?
Well, then that's why it's a true or false question.
Good point.
Yeah. All right.
3 million people.
3 million people.
Baffles me. Even though I got that one right. Like I was hoping that I was wrong on that one. 3 million. It's so many people with an issue that they need to work out.
Yeah. Yes.
They're poor.
I completely
partners.
agree. But that's only like 3 million people is what? Only like is it fair to say that that's a tenth of the population of the United States? Like what is the population of the United States?
No, not even
these days. I
think the population of the United States is it like 1 billion? Do we have 1/6 of the humans? Or 1/7 of the humans on Earth? I say it like I'm part of that. I haven't been there for years.
No, in 2014 it was 318. It was basically 319 million people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it is a tenth.
Yeah. No, I mean it's like basically India and China.
Yeah.
Basically account for most of the Earth's population.
Yeah,
anyways,
India is insane with the people and the land.
Yeah.
Okay, so 3. That's really absurd. I thought there was 1 billion people in America. Yeah, give or take. Yeah, give or take.
Yeah, around there.
Yeah, give or take around 700 million.
Once you start getting up to counting in the hundreds of millions.
Yeah.
Like I don't think anyone could blame you for just ballparking it after that. just guesstimating.
Right.
Oh man. But yeah, like a tenth, 1/10 of the United States population
has experience with aliens.
Has reported symptoms of being abducted by aliens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really weird. Oh, speaking
sorry,
of...
Sorry, not a tenth. 1%? I'm so fucking tired. 1%? Yeah, like 1%. 1%.
Oh, yeah, that would be 1%.
Yeah, sorry, yeah. But still, 1%'s a lot. Like, 1% is a fuck ton.
Yeah.
Of people.
300 million. 3 million would be 1%.
Sorry, hang on a second. Population of...
Toronto.
So the population of Florida is like 20 million.
Ah, there we go. Found them.
So, and that's basically, that's it. So like, like most of...
That's all the alien abductees and their doctors and
psychological
staff.
And then the rest will just be like everyone who just lives in and around.
Yeah.
What is it? Prim. Basically Prim. Or Pim, rather. Pim in Nevada. Like,
yes.
That's basically it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Just ridiculous. But yeah.
Going back to the found footage movies for a second. Did you ever see Cloverfield?
I did.
What did you think of that?
I liked it a lot better the second time that I saw it.
Okay, I never gave it a second chance.
I read about all of the stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like I read about what the creature was kind of supposed to look like.
Mm-hmm.
Not that not that the first time I watched it was like I'm dying to know. Like I don't understand what's happening. Like it wasn't anything like that. But yeah, I read sort of like a lot of mythology and stuff that they'd sort of created for the film, which I thought was, I don't know, I just love it when creators just put like way too much energy into creating this.
Mm-hmm. That's cool.
This world, and then they just kind of don't really show it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they don't explicitly go out of their way.
Yeah, that
to
I
do whatever,
appreciate.
but
I like the marketing machine behind Cloverfield.
Yeah,
that was cool.
Mm-hmm.
The movie itself,
yeah,
I couldn't get into it. It was too shaky with characters I could not relate to on any level.
Yeah, I mean,
but I like the premise.
The premise was cool,
mm-hmm.
and I feel like I think they had sort of toyed with the idea. I think of making another one,
mm-hmm.
which I'm kind of happy that they didn't. But no, I thought it was. I thought it was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it wasn't. I don't know. I guess the like how creative it was for me, anyways.
Mm-hmm.
Like how creative it was, sort of made up for areas that it may have been lacking.
Okay.
In other,
fair enough.
In other areas. So yeah, I didn't mind it. I didn't mind it. Again, not a horror film, but I watched Project Almanac.
I heard about this. I haven't seen it though.
It's a weird ass movie.
Yeah.
It's like MTV Presents kind of a film. So like all of the kids are like super cool
mm-hmm.
and really love indie bands.
Yeah.
And but anyways, so they discover a time machine.
Okay.
And like the second act doesn't begin
mm-hmm.
until maybe about an hour and 10 minutes into the movie.
Wow.
So
really
they find a time machine. Yeah. So basically they find this time machine, like these 6 teenagers find this time machine
mm-hmm.
and then just proceed to have the most fun ever with a time machine.
Okay.
And yeah, so it's just watching sort of like, I don't know, just privileged cool teenagers,
right,
with their whole lives ahead of them.
Yeah, finally something
we went to Lollapalooza, and it's like we won the lottery, and it's like, oh yeah, I passed my physics test, and like it's just this is not
finally something I can believe in, I can relate to.
Yeah, something you can absolutely relate to. Yeah, so that was a really weird show.
Okay.
That was a really really terrible show actually.
MTV Studios, like they have a history of just hit or miss, and when they miss, which is most of the time, they miss wide. Like there's a huge margin, like such a huge margin between where they hit and the target.
Yeah.
But when they hit, even then it's pretty weird. But it's fun. Like, do you remember Joe's Apartment?
Yeah, I love that movie. Yeah, that was awesome.
That was the first movie I remember.
Bitchin' movie.
Yeah, that was the first movie I remember thinking, "Oh, this is an MTV movie, huh? Okay, let's see what they can do." And this is that's the only word for it. It's a bitchin' movie. It's really fun. Krusty Towel. I love this movie.
So just let's there's a few more horror movies that I think we need to talk about before we wrap this up. What was how did you feel about Diary of the Dead? Did you ever see that one?
Yeah, I kind of dug it. I liked it.
Yeah.
I had watched it on a Romero bender, which I'm prone to have sometimes.
Sure.
Where I'll just start with Night of the Living Dead, and I'll just, burn my brain for...
Just go in order.
Yeah, go all the way in order, all until the end. And I like Diary of the Dead. I think the found footage subgenre is a little outside of Romero's natural habitat, I guess. It seemed a little. You could really kind of tell his age almost with it, and how he handled it. He handled it like a classic pro. Not so much like a found footage movie.
Yeah, it was sort of like he didn't really know what those things were.
Right.
Yeah, like.
And I enjoyed the story obviously because he's really good at that. But it's true, like as far as found footage, he didn't seem like he was sure what to do with that, and so he just kind of made his movie.
Mm-hmm. There's a couple of other ones we gotta talk about too.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen any of them.
Okay.
But Paranormal Activity.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I would rather nail my hand to the floor than watch these movies again.
Yeah, it never really. They never really. They never just looked interesting.
No, it's so much filler. It's crazy. It's like it's a movie adaptation of filler. If you take all the Ghost Hunter TV shows and you just take all the filler and then make a movie out of it, there you go.
Yeah,
and then throw a little special effect at the end. Oh my goodness, it's real. Oh. It's really not. It's not fun for me. Maybe there's 3 million people somewhere in the world that really enjoy them, but I just can't get into them.
They've made a fucking bucket of them.
Well,
they're already. I think they've already got to the point where they're actually doing sort of like spin-offs.
There's
there's one with demons instead of ghosts or something like that. Now I don't know what's up.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Did you ever see Devil's Pass? This has nothing to do with Paranormal Activity. This is Devil's Pass is Rennie Harlin's stab at found footage.
Okay.
So it's like an action
I don't know
horror.
if I got that one.
This one is there's things that I really enjoy about it. Like I enjoy all of Rennie Harlin's movies. It's like there's something about his movies that are just painfully stupid, entertaining. Like all of his movies, like Cliffhanger, what a mess. And his Nightmare on Elm Street installment is so like he just makes these movies that like you don't want to be caught watching it, but I can't help but watch it anyway. And if you're listening, Rennie, sorry, dude, but it's just like it's crazy. And Devil's Pass it's a Rennie Harlin movie. It's fun and weird and crazy and exciting, and it all just kind of unravels at the end until you just have this, ugly colored yarn all over the floor, and it's just, all right, well, that happened. But much like his movies, the lead up to the unraveling is super fun. But the unraveling is so complete and thorough that there's just nothing to hold on to at the end. But that one is and it's a cool premise too. Like I don't know what it is with his movies. Like he always tackles something that's just a little too cool.
Yeah. So the last one that we really need, that we at least need to touch on before we call it a night here at Big Human Dead HQ is and I can't believe we haven't brought this up. I can't believe you haven't brought this up because you are a proponent. Yeah. And I am an opponent of the Blair Witch Project.
Let's not
go. Whoa! Hang on a sec.
I did.
No, hang on a sec.
Okay.
Hang on. Let me. Because and this one is sort of important to as much as
this was the kickoff. This
was kind of the one. This was like the sort of the first post Clerks, if you want to think of that in a sense, like the first post Clerks like found footage movie.
Like this is the template.
That once independent filmmaking became possible again. Mm-hmm. This movie came out, and then like every teenager on the planet made their own Blair Witch parody with their parents' like video camera. Like it was just like every school project was
it's true. Like Slacker and Clerks did it for the comedy and the random storytelling crowd. Blair Witch did it for the indie horror crowd. Yep. And granted, I did burn up 15 precious minutes of everyone's life on a recent episode defending Blair Witch, but I did acquiesce at the end and admitted that the story there's no story. It just falls. It's so thin. It's so fucking thin that I really felt empty after I defended it so hard. Yeah, but it was a very novel experience.
You really, really embarrassed yourself.
Like, I did. It was like I flogged myself with a barbed, handful of leather strips. Yeah. For hours afterwards.
Yeah, it was really weird.
But I have to stand up for the experience I had when I first saw it. That was incredible. That was super fun. But I do admit that the movie itself, there's nothing there. And but that's another, they followed their rules. They did. They do. It does suffer from what we first talked about in the beginning at the top of the episode, where who found who found these tapes and these cameras, and who someone had to go into the Blair Witch's house and stumble across these tapes and think
shed.
Yeah, in the shed. What happened here?
House. Come on. Yeah.
And they were obviously fine. Or maybe she was out at the market, picking up more twine for her art class or her art sculptures. And so that whoever found the cameras did not encounter the witch and get murdered. But so that rule is completely busted. Or maybe there's an explanation, but I don't remember it.
If I was the Blair Witch and I was just chilling in my shed, and then just a couple of people walked in without my luring them there or anything, I'd be pretty taken aback. I don't think I would do anything about it. No, I think I would just be so stunned. It's
just open mouth,
the last 3, and then probably hundreds of people prior to this. It's been this whole fiasco of just trying to even get them here, and just 2 D-bags just sort of walked in, just straight up A, that's rude. Yeah. And B, she
can't even say anything until they leave. They close
totally flabbergasted. Yeah. And they just go in there. It's hey, cool, a camera, and they just pick it up.
Hey, are these yours? Can I take these? All right. Ciao. And then they just leave. And
just totally stunned.
The Blair Witch is oh, excuse me. And they're already out of earshot. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so they break that rule. But everything else, the movie sucks. I can't hold up the charade anymore. Fucking Blair Witch. But
the fucked up thing about the Blair Witch as well is that the sequels that followed were
yes.
The Blair Witch Project 2 completely abandoned the only thing that made the Blair Witch Project even moderately unique. Bearable. And just it's hey, I was thinking instead of making a sequel to the Blair Witch Project, like a proper one, let's just kind of remake The Craft. Is that okay with everyone?
Right.
Let's just remake The Craft, but with some dudes. Yeah. It was really weird.
Really
it was just
bad.
Super weird. Yeah.
Yeah. And if we're going to talk about originals, then I think it's worth mentioning Cannibal Holocaust again. This movie, I hate it. I hate the people that made it, and it's
not a very good movie.
I hate that it was made. It's really the animal cruelty that puts it over the top. This is it's so reprehensible to me, and I don't care if you want to leave in the comments that I'm a Nancy boy or a sissy or something. Like, there's just no reason to make any living thing suffer for your fucking movie. I mean, I don't care how important you think it is. It's not that important. And the Cannibal Holocaust would have been really good if it had not gone that step with the animal cruelty. Like, I think it would have been a really fun horror movie of it. I dig that. I like the premise that these young assholes, go and they abuse their power among a group of people that they don't understand. I think this is it's a clever premise, and it's good, and it was well
pointed.
Shown.
Yeah, it's
exactly.
It's pointed, and that he's trying to say something for sure.
And I dug it, and it was completely dashed away as soon as they hurt the first animal, and then they really hurt a lot of animals in a really brutal way.
I disagree. Not with the whole animal cruelty thing, because I respectfully disagree. I feel like you can't really make a good movie without mutilating a bunch of animals.
I feel like you can't hurt enough animals, to be honest.
That's actually my criticism with a lot of movies. They just, I really liked. There's something about Mary, but how many dogs did they kill on screen? Zero.
I Heart Huckabees. It would have been good if they had, sliced the necks of some dogs.
No, I was going to say, like, I completely agree with you on the animal cruelty thing. Mm-hmm. That's just disgusting, and I don't know why. Yeah, I don't. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. But the thing that I do disagree with is, I just don't think the film's actually that interesting.
No,
like, I just don't. Yeah, I don't feel like really enough happened. Mm-hmm. Like there was really much of a story.
Right. No, I think that's one of the things that makes it such a found footage movie. That's why I think that's one of the original ones, because it's kind of the modus operandi of found footage, is that the story is very, very light. It's very thin on reason, that's kind of the point, because it's supposed to be, a day in the life of vein of storytelling. And so it's more atmosphere. It's more, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, like more ethos or ethics or
the pathos. I think is the word you're looking for.
Yeah. It was one of those Latin-derived nonsense words, but not so much actual events.
But it's still a movie, right? Like it's not actually found footage. Like, it's still a movie, and you have the power to create a cohesive. It doesn't have to be stupid tight, but you have the power to create a narrative. Yeah. Which, given just the disgusting, like, I mean, like, one animal is too much, but like given all of the animals that they just decided to mutilate and destroy over the course of that film, and then to not even really make a movie.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
no, I totally see what you mean.
Like.
Yeah, I was just.
Not that the destruction of these animals would have been justified by the fact that you made a good show,
right?
But you just sort of fucked up a bunch of innocent, defenseless animals.
Yeah,
and then just sort of fucked around.
Agreed.
Like that's really fucked up.
Yeah,
and like that.
It sounds a little hypocritical. Like I'm switching back, but I don't. Like I think the point, like not the point, the story, such as it is, of Cannibal Holocaust is cool. It's really fun. For me, I enjoyed this destructive power that these privileged white people come and they just lay it all over. They don't give a shit about the land, the natives, the this, that. And I thought that was a very entertaining foundation for the story. And I liked how they did it. But I do agree that the story itself, it's very thin. Like, that's all there is to it. There's really just this message, and that's all. And then they get fucked up by the natives, and they die. And then movie's over. And there's a lot of filler. It's really a lot of filler. I think it's really more of the entertainment comes from, entertainment is not the right word either, because like I can't divorce the animal cruelty from the rest of the movie. Like I'm not recommending this movie in any way. Like I don't want people to see this movie.
No, of course. I was just going to say, I think it's safe to say that I know where you're coming from. Okay. I think everyone listening also knows where you're coming from. Yeah. So you don't feel like you need to pre-apologize or say,
right.
You know what I mean? You're going to say something stupid. Like no, of course. I mean,
but
you're not condoning the murder of animals.
Not in any way. And like this
period,
dude gotten in a lot of trouble, not for the animals, but he got in a lot of trouble after the movie because the courts thought he actually murdered someone for the movie. The woman that is on the pike. And then I think she's on the cover of the movie and everything like that. That they thought she was actually dead, and he told all the actors to go take a vacation for a year or something like that while the movie came out. That way, there would be no trace of them, and so when the movie came out, it would seem even more realistic that they were actually killed. Like he wanted everyone to think that this was real and it was a snuff film, that people really died. And then when the powers that be, the authorities saw it, and they said, "Wow, I think this filmmaker actually killed people." And then they brought him in, and he said, "No, it's really just a movie. It's all fake. You know, and they were just actors." And then they said, "Well, can you produce the actors?" And he couldn't because he told them all to fuck off and disappear for a year. Yeah. And eventually it all worked out that everything was relatively okay. But I'm actually really happy that he got in trouble and financial trouble. I don't know if he went to jail for any period of time, but I hope so. If only just for the animals. Like, this is really, I can't state strongly enough how disgusted I was that someone would do that. And I know it's redundant now to say it, but
we'll put it on the WordPress page. We'll create our own little section on the WordPress page, just saying that. Yeah. Disclaimer. Sorry, everyone.
Yeah.
But Bighumandead in no way condones the wanton destruction of animals.
Yeah, and I don't, I don't actually understand the people that.
Sorry.
I don't understand the people that can stand behind this movie as like a historical piece of horror history. I don't get it.
I get this vibe of like just sort of like that metalhead meathead sort of classification, I guess. Like the same people that like fucking, I don't know, get their Cannibal Corpse covers, like into, like get the posters and put them up, or
right.
The people that drew Metallica on their binders in high school, like probably really dug. I'm not saying all of them.
Yeah.
Man, we are really on eggshells here today.
just cutting the fat off of our listening audience.
Yeah, or just you know what? Abducted by aliens? Fuck off. You're you multi-handed
Frenchy fucking frog people.
French cyborgs. You know what?
Get out of here.
That's enough. That's enough of you. Yeah.
Metalheads, we're done with you.
Yeah, this is great.
No, but I know what you mean. Like these ones that more celebrated the violence and the imagery of the medium rather than the actual medium.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, and that's a good way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, yeah, no, and it's so yeah, let us know what you think. I mean, obviously, like we're, like I really hope that no one gets on here and defends the murdering of animals for, cannibal Holocaust, but if you do,
we're looking at you, Werner Herzog. We know you're listening. We know you hate animals.
I guess
we don't want to hear your shit.
You know what? I think if you do, I think just keep that one to yourself. Like I don't know. I don't know.
Enough.
I don't want to get into a thing.
Don't litter our comments with it.
Yeah, but let us know how you feel about found footage stuff. I mean, I feel like we talked a lot about. I feel like we covered like at least most of the. We did the greatest hits, anyways.
Yeah,
and we did a couple of B-sides.
Like this subgenre is so healthy that, and there's so much of it that I don't like that. It could be that I'm missing something, and so if you really like. If you want to point out some of the things I'm missing of why they're cool, then really let us know in the comments.
Yeah.
On Twitter at WaterlooGN or at bighumandead@gmail.com.
At gmail.com. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah. Sorry. Also, I just wanted to mention real fast because you had mentioned Cinema Verite at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
And then you had also mentioned Man Bites Dog.
Mm-hmm.
The scene in which the actor that plays the sociopath, anyways, the scene in which he is speaking to his mother from behind, like the prison glass.
Oh yeah,
that's his real mother.
Oh really?
And she didn't know that she was in a movie.
Oh cool.
She thought that she thought that her son had actually been arrested for killing dozens of people.
That's gold.
And so her, his family appears twice in the film, like once at the beginning, and they're sitting there talking about how beautiful and how proud they are of their son.
Yeah.
And they think they're just talking about their real son, but in actuality, they're, quote unquote, anyways, talking about the killer. And then, again at the end, it's his real mother. She doesn't know that she's in a movie, and she is
that's abusive, really,
beside herself. Yeah. She's so upset that that her son had been arrested for killing like 45 people.
Yeah,
it's it's pretty nuts. It's pretty nuts. But yeah, anyways, that was a good one. We got to a dark place near the end. I think we started out by talking about what was the first one? You whatever it was. Europia Report. We started out with like a cute little
space fair,
space show, and then we ended up trying
with
really hard to convince each other that we like animals. Which is weird. But anyways, that was fun. I had a nice time with you tonight. Yeah.
Thanks, man. I did too. And thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah, thank you.
Really appreciate you coming back every week. Yeah,
all you Frenchies can put on your regular listening ears.
Yes.
Again. You can unscrew your podcast listening ears and reaffix your dialogue listening ears.
And all you metalheads can leave your posters up. It's fine. We don't care.
Yeah.
We're just, it's just vitriol.
Yeah. Crush a few beers,
Yeah.
we
can dig it.
Yeah. Wedgie some dorks.
Let's leave the dorks alone. They got a hard enough time.
You know what? I gotta say no. It's just
I'm making a fucking stand. Finally, okay. The next episode we'll lay into the dorks and really let them have what for.
Yeah, the next episode it will just be a very special episode of Human Dead where myself, Neil McKay, will just go on an hour and a half long rant.
Yeah.
About how much I hate squares. And, Anyways.
Right. So until then.
And until then, yeah. Anyways, good night, Rob.
Good night, Neil.